I'd go live for no good reason except that I just fancied it. Because the last time I went live, I had this whole long ramble about what I was going to talk about finding your vibe tribe. And then all sorts of interesting characters jumped on it and took the live stream down a completely different road. So I decided to jump on today and talk about flexibility because that is one thing that I'm seeing a lot at the moment. You got to be flexible. So I came on with one focus, and I ended up going down a complete other. But one thing that the last live stream brought out is the real importance of having fun and just going with the flow. Because I had no idea who's going to turn up. You never really do when you go live on YouTube. It is a strange sensation. It's a strange sensation for all. And I had people turn up. They were drawing emojis. All sorts of stuff was happening. I had some mad comments that were made on it, and it made me laugh a lot. So I figured, well, if it makes me laugh a lot, and other people might have been laughing, and I did send it to a few friends, and they ended up laughing as well, that could only be a good thing. Because let's face it, my Jedi friend, that the way that the world is going at the moment, there's enough serious stuff going on. There's enough serious stuff going on. And especially for people that are sensitive to energy, the new vibe is being flexible and keeping a healthy sense of humor. If you've got a sense of humor, it will get you through some of the darkest times. And one thing that I can tell you about some of my friends who've been through some really heavy duty stuff lately is that the single factor that comes back for them when we talk about this stuff is keeping a sense of humor. That if you can keep a sense of humor in amongst all this, it's always a winner. And look, speaking of which, straight in the door is Plant Lady. Plant Lady's here. Woohoo! Was just going to have a nap, but thought that that's not what I need, and here you are. Well, I'm glad you chose to join me, Plant Lady, rather than have a nap. I mean, who knows? I might not be here for long, but it's always good to have you on the call. Not that a nap isn't a good thing occasionally. Maybe it is. Maybe you'll finish this and think, I wish I had had a nap. You never know, do you? You might think, oh my word, he's just wasted all of this time. Who is this lunatic? What's he talking about? Is there some sort of profound message in this live stream? I don't know. I don't really know. You'll be able to tell me at the end with your comments and emojis and things that happen. So fair play to you, Plant Lady, with the three smiley faces that have just gone on. Keeping your sense of humour. I believe that's what we were talking about. So I'll tell you a few stories. Like, one of the things growing up is my parents had like a mad relationship. They were both psychiatric nurses. And a lot of the time, my mum would have a go at my dad. And 9 out of 10 times it was nasty. But every now and again, my dad would come out with something. She'd be firing really on fire. He'd come out with something that was so left field that all she could do was laugh. And it's like a superpower gift that someone could do. When someone's in full rage and you say something that completely breaks the pattern and gets them laughing, that is like the ultimate superpower gift, especially for people that are sensitive to energy, for empaths. So it's been a feature of my life, like using humor in the darkest of situations. And people that don't do it or haven't worked in those situations or haven't been in those situations will never really know it. And I never think it's worth explaining that to people because if you don't get it, it's just not worth trying to explain it. That having a sense of humor at your darkest moments, being able to crack a joke, being able to make someone laugh when they're at their lowest point, well, that's something that I've got quite a lot of experience in. And my very close friends will tell you we've been in serious, really serious situations. And someone said something, and all you can do is laugh because there's all this tension there, and everybody's tense. And suddenly somebody says something, and it's so wrong. Quite often, it's just so wrong that it makes it right for the situation. And we've talked about that a lot. Hello, I'm back. Epic Edits is back. Give me my emojis. Yes, Epic Edits. Thank you. The party bus has started. I've been missing you. I've been missing you with the little emojis at the side of the screen. So thank you. You'll have to train everybody else how to send those few emojis. Always good to have you back, Epic Edits. Well, after the last live stream, the last vertical live that I did, the fact that you're back after that one, kudos to you. I never thought anyone was coming back after that one. We had all sorts of adventures, didn't we? All sorts of characters on the thread, especially DA. What a legend. Who is he? Who is this man, international man of mystery, coming from all over the world with all these trolling comments, which we love. We love it because we're talking. It's inspired me to do this live, which is all about keeping your sense of humor and the ability of humor to unlock all sorts of nonsense in other areas of your life. So, Epic Edits, how have you been doing? Well, do you know what, Epic Edits? I played football last night and it was great. It was a really good game. I was playing with people that were a lot younger than me, a lot of them, and we were 1-0 down with a couple of minutes to go, and I managed to score the equaliser. And it was very satisfying in a game where there's usually loads of goals, but it finished 1-1, and I scored the only goal on our team. So I felt great about that. In my mind, this is like a pinnacle, but in my body, I'm paying the price. My body is not what it used to be, my Jedi friend. So that's the reality of the situation. I've got the Dominator in. Hello, sir. Off the bat, I'm fat, ugly troll with nothing to do. If you may permit me to lightly troll you in a childish, annoying manner, sir, up to yourself, of course. Well, the Dominator, you, after my last live stream, you would go very, very well to be able to troll me to the extent that DA did. We ended up on a trip all around the world. So the answer is yes, my friend. You go for it. You throw whatever troll comments, because if you've not been on one of my live streams before, you'll know that this could go anywhere. It could absolutely go anywhere. Yes, I talk about energy. Got that woo-woo side of him. Yes, we can go down that. If you'd rather not talk about energy or dealing with toxic relationships or all this heavy-duty stuff that can happen to people, all of this stuff that can happen to people, then we'll talk about trolls. I've got Altug in the house, one of my Jedi friends from Ukraine. You legend. Good to have you here, my friend. I've just invited the Dominator to troll me. I'm going to be trolled. In fact, I invite everybody to be trolled. That's Nadia has jumped in. Have you been killed? Well, that's a comment, isn't it? If you could be here and you had been killed, now that would be a talent, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be good? If I've managed to get an AI agent of me out here just before I ended up dead. Well, in the age of AI, you never know, do you, my Jedi friends? You just don't know. I could be. Are you dying from cancer? Well, who knows? I have not been diagnosed that way. Why, have you got cancer, Nadia? Is it eating you from within? Is that what you're going on? A cancerous situation for you. Well, Epic Edit says, I'm just bored. Bored. Oh, we got the Dominator. After careful consideration, I've decided not to troll. It's time to sort my life out. I'm 42. This is my day one. Have a good day, sir. Well, the Dominator, fair play to you, my Jedi friend. You are very welcome to troll me. I embrace the trolling. It's all good, friendly fun as far as I'm concerned. So you get fired away in anything you want to throw in there. But I respect the fact that you decided not to, and you're going to sort your life out. So Nadia says, no, I don't have cancer. Well done, Nadia. Isn't that a great thing? You asked me if I've got cancer. I said no. I asked you if you got cancer. You said no. So makes me wonder why all the cancerous comment. Is my wife dying? Well, well, I don't have a wife, Nadia. So, you know, in the world of rent a wife, or let's create a wife out of nothing? The answer to that is no, my Jedi friend. So Jack Owen is on and says, nice hair, mate. Thank you, my Jedi friend. And New Yoda is here. New Yoda's one of my Jedi friends. Greeting, Adam and folks. Well, hello to you all. So today is just a random thread, and we've got all sorts of interesting characters are showing up. Um, so Nadia says, too young to have it. Well, exactly what it is, Nadia, I don't know. Am I too young? Well, thank you for even suggesting that I may be too young for anything at the moment. Now, I've got You Found Me, NGL. I honestly like your shirt. Well, thank you. You Found Me. Coming from it just fits comfortably. It's cool. It's not going to win any awards, but it does for me. I'm low maintenance. I'm low maintenance. I've got Go Gunners on here. Go Gunners. Baldy over. There's there what's it have no hair. It's hot or is it cold? Hang on, I think that might be my reading. Let me try again here, Go Gunners. What does it say? Baldy over there. What's it like to have no hair? Is it hot or cold? Well, I like it. Sounds like you're in the stands with the baldy chants. I like it, my Jedi friend. But as for Go Gunners, well, here's something for you. It's very hot where I am because I am a Scouser fan. And it looks like we're going to kick you guys' arse this season again. Bring on Isaac. That's what I say to the Go Gunners fan. And in that case, I needed to cut my hair off because it's so sizzling hot in Anfield at the moment that we barely know where to look. So Julie McClellan is here. Truth or dare? Go for it, Julie. Let's do it. Hit me with your question. Oh, look, Charlie Roberts jumped in. Question. What was the last Star Wars film you was in? Well, was it Star Wars or was it Star Trek? I've got Barry Boy saying, hello, Harry Hill. Well, here's the thing. I've actually met Harry Hill. I was standing next to him at the bar at one of his very early shows about 25, 30 years ago. I didn't even realize he was the main act. And I was stood there next to him thinking, who's this quirky fellow next to me? They probably thought it was me. I should have gone on stage. What do you reckon, Barry Boy? If I'd have jumped on stage in front of Harry Hill, do you think anyone would have known? The Go Gunners are here. Never. We're too strong. Well, you've made a couple of decent signings, but let's face it, you don't ever win anything. Always a sign of eternal promise, the nearly people. And let's face it, Arteta is a whinger. He doesn't even lose gracefully. They can't just do it. And he has got that look. He does look a little bit dodgy, doesn't he? He has got that dodgy look to him, Arteta. He's not the sort of guy you'd really want to run into. He looks a little bit intense, looks a bit dodgy. That's what I'd say. So, Barry Boy, Celtic, best team in the UK. We've had a lot of Liverpool players up there. Even had Souness and Johnny Barnes running the place. It's like a Liverpool cast-off club. That's what it is. Let's have a look. Go Gunners. You look like Arnie Slot. I'll take that, my friend. Arnie Slot is a legend right now. He's like the main man, the absolute main man. He is a legend in Liverpool. Who'd have thought that it was possible that anyone could come in and fill the boots of Jurgen Klopp and win the title in their first season? But there, he's gone and done it. How many managers are able to do that? Just walk into a role where we haven't won for a couple of years, take over, and somehow make our team better. And that was without signing anyone. Just remember that. Didn't even sign anyone. And we've signed loads of people this season, haven't we? Haven't we just? Look at that. Very exciting for the Fantasy League. I've got to get my Fantasy League team in soon. The boys are hounding me to get it. I'm putting in Alexander Isak. Because it looks like we're going to get him, my Jedi friends. That's what it's looking like. So you found me. To be honest, what's your opinion on modern art? Well, do you know, I actually went to a couple of modern art galleries because they were handing out free booze. It's a true story. And I'm quite happy to drink anyone's free booze, but the art was a load of shite. and the prices they were charging with it. In fact, here's a little story. My sister came with me. I decided to bring her along. She doesn't go to many events like that. And we were there drinking the champagne. And she looked at this picture that was about 50 grand's worth. And she said, 50 grand for that? Like she had a kid that was 4 years old called Connor at the time. She said, I'd give Connor a couple of crayons. He could have created that in 10 minutes. And I started laughing. And there was a woman stood right next to us. And I noticed she was very close to us. I turned around and said, oh, hello, how are you? I said, who are you? And she goes, I'm the artist. So that's my opinion on modern art. Don't invite me to your opening day, or my sister. Could be dodgy. So let's have a look. What have we got? Danny Sampson. Can you say hi to my daughter, Orla? It's her birthday tomorrow, and we were on our way to Disneyland. Well, fair play to you, Danny, and happy birthday, Orla. I hope you have a fantastic time in Disneyland. And tell them it's your birthday so you don't have to queue up as long. See if you can get a special pass. Get your dad to say, look, it's her birthday. And because you have to spend a long time queuing up for the good rides at these places. See if you can get some birthday concessions. Talk nicely to the staff and say, look, can you do me a favor? You'll save yourself hours of queuing. That's the theory, Danny. If you're up for the task, you go for it, my friend. Go for it. So I have got JP on here, and this guy looks like Mr. Clean. And why is he bald? Like Mr. Clean. If only you knew, JP, if only you knew how ironic that little statement was. But I'll take it. I will be Mr. Clean. And why is he bald? Well, because my hair was thinning and it's just easier to shave it off. And in that neck of the woods, I just call it cut your losses. Cut your losses, my Jedi friend. But from a very practical point of view, I've never really looked back. It's a lot easier to maintain this style. It's a lot easier to travel. And it's a hell of a lot easier during a lockdown. I'll tell you that. When everybody else's hair's going out of control, I keep mine tight, my Jedi friend. So there you go. Would you rather watch a tree grow or a knee grow? That's from Barry Boy. Well, there's a question. Well, I can't say I would rather do either. They both sound equally bad, Barry Boy. So yeah, I'm struggling with that one. I don't know. You're giving me two. You're giving me two bad options there. That's a bit of a rough one. Epic Edits is on. How long have you been streaming? Well, I did a couple of live streams on streaming software before, but I believe this is my third vertical live stream. And what does that mean? That means streaming from my mobile phone, which means that there's no prep, there's no background, there's no thing. It's just me and a live audience, and we just see where we go. And I'm completely up for that. So yeah, not long is the answer to that, but I'm just getting comfortable with these live verticals, seeing where they go, seeing who turns up. And quite honestly, I've been blacklisted on YouTube for the last 6 weeks. I haven't had a single new subscriber. In fact, my subscriber count's gone down. And it's probably because my language is a bit too fruity, or that I'm doing something to be put on the naughty step. So frankly, I'm doing this. This is a new tactic to see if it has any impact. I wanted to see how far on the naughty step I am. Because I'm a bit too loose cannon for YouTube. And when I'm live, they can't stop me. They cannot stop me. I'm like the mask. I'm like Jim Carrey. Somebody stop me. So you found me, have said, have you ever played any horror games? Or if so, was or is your favorite? So I'll tell you my favorite. I'm not sure it would qualify as a horror game, You Found Me, but we've done a few murder mystery days and they are a right laugh. The last one I was at, I was a character called Shake Ja Love Me, and I wasn't the murderer. But what happened was me and a group of friends, one of the friends hosted it. She did a fantastic job. It was a 3-course meal. We spent the whole day on this murder mystery, and no one had any clue who the murderer was. Everyone got it wrong and had forgotten all the clues and had lost all the evidence, and in some cases had lost, their sense of who they were because they'd had too much to drink. So that's my favourite horror game, a murder mystery where everyone ends up murdered with alcohol. I highly recommend it. These days I don't drink as much. I'm not sure my liver would take the degree of that. But I would say to anyone on this stream, if you haven't been to a murder mystery day out, then you are absolutely missing out on it. Just go and buy yourself a kit and host one. It's one of the best laughs ever, especially if everyone gets into the characters. And one of the fun parts of that was when we did it. We were driving through the streets, and it was just after all of the stuff from the Middle Eastern terrorists had kicked in, and I was driving through with the full Saudi Arabia Sheikh kit on, driving through Hertfordshire to the place and stopping at traffic lights and turning around and looking at people with a serious face. It's one of the funniest things I've seen how filled with terror they were, not knowing if they had a terrorist next to them, giving them a menacing look. So that's the kind of stuff that I like to do. So when you say horror, I guess that would have been a horror to anyone that done it. I also did a Halloween one where I completely painted myself white like a ghost. And when we stopped at the traffic lights, I used to turn around and go. People would take one look and then they'd turn around and face the road, and they couldn't wait for the light to change. So that's my favourite game, You Found Me. I hope that answers your question. Barry Boy has put a nice little friendly, funny face laughing. Fair play to you, Barry Boy. John, man, I got to say, I absolutely love to see you at SawCon this year. You'd be most welcome. I don't even know what SawCon is, John, but thank you, my friend. I'm assuming it's something to do with the film Saw. And, that sounds like it could be a very interesting day out indeed. My niece is into all that. She does like Dungeons and Dragons and that kind of stuff, and gets all dressed up, and her friends come round and stuff like that. But yeah, back in the day, I'd have been into that kind of thing. We never had it as evolved. I'm showing my age now. We never had like these conferences growing up. So I'd have probably been up for it. I'd have definitely, I had I was fairly flexible in the sort of stuff that I would have gone to, and possibly would have gone to a SawCon. So there you go. John has said, SawCon D's nuts. Yeah, well, thanks, John. I might give that a miss. Sounds like you need to have a trip to Thailand, my Jedi friend. That's where the sort of SawCon that you would be into, and I'm sure you'd have a great time. John, are you 1/8 Chinese? Not that I know of, but I haven't done that thing where you send your blood over to the bank to find out where your roots are from. I'm a universal citizen. In fact, here's the reality of it. I'm not from this planet, I've been told reliably. I don't even know what I'm doing here. I just landed in this human body, in this human experience, and I'm wondering what the bloody hell I'm doing here, because I haven't quite worked it out, my Jedi friends. I haven't worked it out. I feel like an alien on this planet. I am not one of you. I'm a shapeshifter that has inherited this body. There, that's what I am. So, Plant Lady, I've got goats in the chat. Yeah, there's plenty of them. Plant Lady, these vertical lives, we attract all sorts, and I sort of love it because you never know who's going to turn up. And it develops my flexibility on these live threads too, because I love it. Troll away. I'm quite happy for anyone to get involved in these chats. So John is back. Did you hear about the guy who went to Thailand and thought he'd won the lottery? He woke up with 2 lady boys and had 6 matching balls. Well, fair play to you, John. Funnily enough, we had almost exactly the same comment on my last thread, which was a guy who went and took himself to Bangkok and ended up at Bangkok's. Bangkok's in Bangkok. That sounds like that what that ended up being. So fair play to you, John. And here's a lesser known thing about me. I did spend 2 years living and working in Thailand. I was out there when the tsunami hit. Luckily, it didn't affect the place I was but I was out there for all the drama. For all that drama. Let's have a look. So John says, are you an actor? No, is the answer, John. But I did do a bit of training in public speaking and presenting and that kind of thing. So I could probably turn my hand to acting reasonably easy and have a little bit of training that is similar. As they say in Thailand, same, but different. Same, but different. I did get told I looked like Picard in the last live stream. So we went down this like mad sci-fi thread where we were talking about whether you're into Deep Space Nine or Voyager or Next Generation or original Star Trek or the new stuff. There's like a new generation of it now, isn't there? So yeah, apparently I look like Picard, and I told the guy on the stream that I was his nephew. And John says the people in Thailand, what's that? Used to have thought you had some Oriental blood on you. To me, it seems very apparent. Well, there you go. Must have. You must have. Used to have. I was actually looking at the used to have and think this was some mad emoji thing or some new age. But maybe I do, John. Look, if somebody wants to make me 1/8 Chinese, I ain't going to argue with them. I ain't that worried about it, my Jedi friend. If you want me to be Chinese, I will be Chinese. I always had the mindset, because I did a lot of backpacking back in the day, that when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So I did used to just slot in. I used to fit in and I'd go with the flow. I'd whatever the native hats were, I'd stick one of them on. Whatever the native clothes were, I'd stick them on. I would just blend in. I would blend in and be one of the locals. I think you've got to embrace local culture, especially if you're in somebody else's back garden. So there you go. That is my slant on it all. And Plant Lady says, Lao Tzu reincarnation. Exactly, Plant Lady. Look at me. I could. I could even be, who knows, Sun Tzu. I could be a reincarnation of all of these Oriental characters. Or probably I was just a farmer or someone boring. I've noticed, I mean, that's quite an interesting point, isn't it? From somebody that's been to quite a lot of energy trainings and met quite a few people who are quite far out there, which is why I'm very au fait with all of the any comments that could come in here, because my background has been exploring places and things and people that are pretty far out there. And when we talk about things like reincarnation, I've run into a few characters. Interestingly enough, I've met 3 people who used to be Cleopatra. I don't know how they can all do that simultaneously. I suppose with all these different timelines from different Star Treks, anything's possible. I've had people that were, in ancient Egypt back in the day. We've had like deities, Akhenaten. We've had all of these characters turn up. Tutankhamun. Had a few people that are reincarnated of them. One thing I've never met anybody say I was reincarnated as just an ordinary average person that was working on the farms. Said nobody ever. Why is it when people find out their reincarnation roots, they had to be some big shot? I was probably just a pleb in the fields. That's probably where I came from. So you found me. What have we got to say here? Oh, I almost knocked the camera over to read that. Let's have a look. Did you know that if a sailor is lost at sea and managed to grab a hold of driftwood or something, after the 3rd day, their skin would start peeling off due to the salt on water and constantly being wee? Well, let's face it, you found me. If you were holding on to driftwood and you were lost at sea and you were still alive after 3 days, then that in itself would be a phenomenal thing. Probably not so phenomenal if your skin started peeling off, but it makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, apparently sharks can pick up things like pee from miles at just a single drop, or blood. So I think that'd be the least of your problems. A bit of peeling skin. Yeah, that could be the least of your problems if that was to happen. But that's a very interesting fact. New Yoda says it's easy to confuse Akashic visions with past lives. Absolutely, New Yoda. You've met a few of them as well, I dare say, in your time. Everyone likes to be a bit special, don't they? I probably wasn't that special, I would say. John, who's Amanda? I saw one of your shorts. Oh, did you? Amanda really is. She is a really good friend. She's my soul sister. She's a right love, and she is properly tapped in. Like Amanda, she channels her soul team. I know that's a little bit out there, probably not to people on this thread, but I strongly suggest that you find out more about what she does. She is a very, very close friend. My soul sister, she is. She's like family. She was, yeah. Some people, you can choose your friends, but can't choose your family, but you can choose your soul family. Amanda is my soul family. She's good people with serious set of skills. So, Go Gunners is back. Google Map Myers. Is that a friend of Mike? Who he is? Let's have a look. JP says this guy looks like Mr. Clean. Well, again, I don't know who Mr. Clean is, JP, but I can assure you that clean is not something that. Well, I mean, I obviously had a shower. So if that is the fact, then yes, I keep myself. You know, I'm not minging or anything like that. But if we're talking clean living, no, you've got the wrong character there, my Jedi friend. You found me. The fact is supposed to say wet at the end, but it cut me off. I did think it was a bit of an incongruous end to that last comment. You found me, but let's face it, the way that they alter your texts on the little messages, anything's possible, isn't it? Okay, John, what's her number? She's nice. We'll get on a YouTube channel, John. If you found that, look up Amanda Stedman. Get on her YouTube channel to give her a follow and ask her for a number. Tell her you're a lovely guy. I'm sure she'll just hand it out. She is. She's an absolute legend. She lives in Mexico, by the way. That's where she's at the moment. Let's have a look. John, are you a homeowner? No, I'm not, John. Life's too short for that. That seems too much of a serious commitment. I like to just go wherever I go, whenever I want to go. And anything that ties me to a certain place is not part of the plan. So no is the answer to that. John, okay, well, look, cheers. You should. Yeah, Amanda's work is very legit. She is absolute diamond, and I completely endorse it. And not only that, folks, there's a lot of charlatans in the spirituality space, or people that are tapped in or psychic. And I've met loads of them over the years. So I can completely tell you that she is very authentic and she's incredible at what she does. So yes, this is a full endorsement. It's a full testimonial to my friend Amanda. So let's have a look. So Go Gunners said hi. Well, hi to you, Go Gunners. Fair play to you, my friend. Good to have you on this thread. Thank you all for joining me. It has been fun. Amanda Stedman, right? Yes, that's correct. And you've even spelt it right there as well. Yeah, fair play to you, John. She is the real deal. The real deal, she is. And apart from anything else, take away the fact that she's the real deal. We always have a right laugh, me and Amanda. When she came over to the UK last, we ended up in a pub, and I showed her a video. I showed her a video. There's a couple of videos on YouTube, and somebody's taken clips from Star Wars. And for those of old enough to know what Withnail and I is, well, somebody turned Yoda into the drug dealer from Withnail and I. And I showed her that in the middle of the pub, and the two of us ended up laughing so loud that everybody just was staring at us in the middle of it. She couldn't control it. So yeah, we had tears rolling down our face. Amanda's a right laugh. We always have a good laugh. I have got Licht on board. Now, Licht has just been in the Jedi Training Academy, and I can tell you, he has just taken me through an exercise. I showed him how to do energy, and now he's doing it back to me. So he is learning. He is a Jedi. Licht is a Jedi. And he's learning some serious energy techniques through being in the Jedi Training Academy. And he's just had his dinner, I can tell you reliably. Amanda is killing the YouTube game at the moment. She has posted a video a week and it's already at 7 views. It's absolutely pumping. Well, look, John, it's this simple. People that are good at what they do aren't necessarily good at marketing, which is why you've got people like me telling you she is the real deal. In fact, the people that are good at marketing don't have to be good at what they do. They just have to tell you that they are. But if you want like the real deal, then she is the real deal. Yes, her marketing might not be 100%, and she hasn't quite mastered YouTube. Who has? I mean, I certainly don't. I'm on the naughty step at the moment. So there you go. That is the deal. Lol. She looks nice though. She really is. I mean, she's not just nice. She's a right laugh. John, I have subbed. Well, kudos to you, John. You've done yourself a favour there because her stuff is the real deal. And just bring this to life. Look, I've been in this game. I say this game. I started training as a nurse back in 1992. There's a sort of lift up. I've been around the block a few times. I did 13 years of frontline medicine and I've done 23 years in the world of energy and healing. And I've met a lot of idiots, a lot of people that claim big things and they don't deliver. And there's two people that are my go-to people if I hit the fan. One is Amanda and the other is my friend Fiona, because I know that they're the real deal. I know that I don't have to work out whether they're legit or not. I just know because I know them. They're my friends and I've known them for many years. So there you go. You've done yourself a massive favour there, John. So there you go. So Lick says, no, I've not eaten yet. Sorry. Well, don't apologise to me, Lick. You'll eat when the time is right. You've managed to join this live stream. So kudos to you, my Jedi friend. And you took me through that energy process just before I came on here. I was energized, ready for this stream because of you, my Jedi friend. So kudos. Plant Lady, this has been an unexpected masterclass, Adam. Thanks. I'm not quite sure what it's a masterclass in, Plant Lady, but thank you nonetheless. I appreciate your support. And the fact that you jump on so many of my streams, that's very much appreciated. Kudos to you, my Jedi friend. I'm seeing lots of hearts being streamed on the thing. So whoever's doing that, thank you for the kudos. Kudos to you. It's always a winner. I've got the emojis, the emoji crowd, smiley faces and hearts and party things going on right now, which is always a winner. So yes, once again, I have ended up going on a complete tangent that I couldn't have foreseen when I started this live stream. So thank you, my Jedi friends, for turning up and making it interesting. It has been interesting. It always is, my Jedi friends. So that seems like this seems like a good segue because I've got to go and get myself some coffee for the morning. So there you go. There's an insight into the humdrum nature of my life outside of these streams. I'm off to get some coffee. That's what I'm doing. I need my drugs, coffee and sugar for the morning. That is what I'm off to get. So there you go. There's a little insight into the world. JP, this guy looks like Tony Savalas and Kojak. It's Telly Savalas, JP. Come on. Now, is that a typo or are you just not old enough to know? And here's a little thing on that. I once went to the BBC. This is a true story. When I was a nurse for our Christmas do, I went and we had to dress as a celebrity. I went as Kojak. So that's a good call. I did go as Kojak. I had loads of lollipops in my top pocket. I had the hat. I had the full Kojak hat. And I won an awards that evening. I won a BAFTA. It was a fake BAFTA for the best lookalike. Not because I looked like Kojak, because they said I was a lookalike as Duncan Goodchew. So even when I was dressed as Kojak and I had all the lollipops in the top pocket, so I was very disappointed that they didn't know. But apparently a couple of my nurse friends had told the guy who was going around assessing, saying they said, who's he? And they told them I was Duncan Goodchew. I didn't know any of this. So when I collected my award, I'd had a few to drink that night. I threw it across the stage and then dived on the. I dived in the middle of the stage and started swimming. I started swimming. So there you go. There's a little unexpected hidden gem that I didn't think I'd be sharing on this thread. You found me. Did you know that there is a colour called, what is that? Cock. I don't even, it looks like cock-a-lot or something like that. No, I didn't. I'm sure there is. You found me, and I'm sure you know all about it. What an interesting colour that must be. Well, that does seem like a good segue for me to wish you all a good evening, my Jedi friends. It has been fun. It has been emotional. And as ever, it has been intriguing. Thank you all for getting involved. If anyone's still here that isn't subscribed to the channel, do me a favour because I'm on the YouTube naughty step right now and I could use all the support I can get. But otherwise, I wish you well. I wish you a good evening. I hope you have a good one, my Jedi friends, because this, from me, is time to sign off. Just as you found me said, it's pronounced Kellicott. Kellicott. Well, I didn't know about that colour either. You found me, so kudos. I didn't know. No, the answer is no. I didn't know. But now I do. I'll have to look it up. I will have to look it up. So I'll do that just before I go out and grab my coffee so that I'm caffeined up in the morning because I'd like to start the day with a nice strong coffee. There you go. Another little insight. I'm not sure that that's of any interest to anyone other than me, but I thought I'd let you know anyway. But anyway, my Jedi friends, that is it from me. I am going to sign off now. I'm going to wish you all a fantastic evening. And thank you all for getting involved. And whoever's throwing those emojis up at the side now, absolutely kudos to you, my Jedi friend. I thank you for your enthusiasm and your participation in this stream. I could not have done it any better. And I certainly don't even know how to do it myself. So I guess I'll have to join one of these one day to know what it's like to be on the other end of this stream. So my Jedi friends, you stay energized and have fun and embrace your lunacy because that's where it's at. That's where it's at, my Jedi friends. Now take it easy. Have a good evening. I'll catch you soon.